What up, guys? Back with another episode of Far Radio, your home for good vibes, good conversations, and good music as well. So, as you know, I'm your host, Simosake Lomo. And, guys, I know some of you is in this chilly weather, guys, because now I just feel like winter has arrived, guys. Winter has arrived. But, yeah, I know some of you guys prefer to have like a cold one on a Saturday, and I know some of you prefer to have like a good cup of tea. Others prefer to have a good cup of coffee, and I'm all for it. So even I myself, I'm having a cup of tea. So let's enjoy the good vibes and good conversations. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to know how your week has unfolded. And also, since we're on the second episode of the show, I also want to acknowledge those who have streamed. Want to thank them. I feel like the most important thing is to get the word out there. Getting the word out there is very important. I'm saying that ngoba ngibone a recent post, I think it was on WhatsApp or Facebook, that there was a teacher who allegedly raped a child at a school here in Foleni Township. So the thing, like, it stuck with me because I asked myself, Wuti, how should we conduct ourselves as adults to set an example? Because I also consider myself as an adult, guys, to set an example for kids, male or female, especially young girls. Because what I've noticed is that these young kids, they look at us as father figures. So now, why does it come to that point for you to even think that you can force yourself in a woman? Or are we that sexually stimulated? Yes, that's the right word. Are we that sexually stimulated that we end up wanting to force ourselves even into young kids or anything that moves? So like for me, it brings a lot of concern. And also what I also wanted to find out is what is it that we should do as a community, because I see a lot of people, they are angry, they are posting on the socials and stuff, and some are saying we should go and then like do a doi there, and then call out for the teacher to be handled. So like the overall conversation for me is more about how should we do these things, because I don't want to dive deep into the details of the story because I haven't got all the facts yet. So I just wanted to tackle that part of see how should we be behaving and how should we handle things as a community. Because for me, I feel like my take is, you know, in most cases I've realized to see we as people have normalized being ignorant, you know, and the more we normalize being ignorant, the more things get worse. And our ignorance, we only can be, how can I say this? Izinto ey'ningi sikwazi ukuyiveza ku-social media than taking action. So someone would send a post and feel like by sending a post they are just taking action, but you are not doing anything if you're sending a post on social media, you know. I'm not like, yes, you are giving awareness to the situation, but sometimes some things calls for you to go there and just handle the matter and just get the ball rolling. Like, ask the people, talk to people, go to people, not the person like who or the mother of a child or what, but those who are close to them, and us, because also we have children's, you know. So now as umzali, I'm sure what you like, what would you do if this might happen to your kid? So guys, like, that's what I want to know. How should we behave as a community? You know, how should we tackle such things? Because I feel like later it's gonna get worse than it already has. And I feel like it's not the first case that we have heard of Les and Desganjes. So, like, guys, let me know, give me your opinion on how should we handle these things, because for me, it's very troubling. Yes, I know that Far Radio is more about the good vibes, good conversation. I feel like this is part of a good conversation because, you know, even back in the day, I remember there was a time where, because I used to study like some historical things, there was a time where they used to say church were used for community gatherings, where the community would gather together and then they will talk about things that needs to be done for the community so that they can be able to improve. So fast forward now, the church or like the gatherings of the community, they are now being used as a place where someone needs to post, like to post or to massage their ego, to show how good they are in life, and to low-key flex on other people. So now I feel like that essence is ran out. Yes, I love what social media is doing in terms of connecting us, but I just wish that we can take that energy that we have on social media and put it into real life. Because having followers on social media doesn't mean that those people who are following you might come. If you say I have an event, then those people will show up as the number that they are. Trust me, I've seen it happen with many people that they have followers, and then when they have maybe a show or a signing, whatever, someone doesn't come. So I'm saying that as a community, we need to like rewind a bit, like try to instill that principle of knowing that as a community, what happens to you also affects me. Have that empathy. In other words, like we need to understand that part, that what happens to you might happen to me, and it affects me as it happens to you. So we need to take like action for those things. Because guys, I'm not gonna lie, like we may take this thing lightly, but it's not like imagine this happening to another woman. Let's say maybe it's not a kid but a woman. So how are we going to deal with such things? So guys, I just need your opinion on that one. But yeah, guys, like for me, I just wanted to start with that one because I wanted to get it out of my chest. That's the key. That's the key, like in how I wanted to start this show. I know usually I do the Sunday show, but I just wanted to get this off my chest so that we can just go on. So yeah, guys, but yeah, let me just give you some music and then we'll come back and chop it up.
Izandla zami zinokucela, fika khanyisa indlela, ngifisa wonke obukimi, kodwa indlela ikude ngale phesheya, ngizame wonke okungaphakathi, kodwa ngathi bonke bangibukela phansi, noma ungaletha ingilosi ngisize ngibone, ngisacela ukukhanya, fika khanyisa indlela, ngifisa wonke obukimi, kodwa indlela ikude ngale phesheya, ngizame wonke okungaphakathi, kodwa ngathi bonke bangibukela phansi,
This was Ukanya by The House by Dame featuring Free Flow. Yes, guys, it's a beautiful song. Talking about Ukanya seeking for guidance from the Almighty and the ancestors. So, on that note, guys, of Ukanya, I also wanted actually to tackle the thing of you as a person. I know it may be a Saturday or Sunday, but I just wanted to tackle the thing of you embracing your time alone. You know, I know maybe this might be a topic this one like was not expecting, but or what is it that you feel like is stopping you from spending time alone? Not in a sense that you don't want to have someone in your life. I'm not talking in that sense. I'm talking in the sense of like, can you be able to spend maybe like 24 hours being on your own, like just being on your own thoughts? Because I feel like most of us as human beings, we are used to being social creatures so much that we feel like being social. Yes, they say being social, like a social friendly person. Yes, it's a good thing, especially when you want to network. Of which I do agree, but sometimes at some point you have to have that discipline of being able to stay on your own so that you can just listen to yourself, find out who you are, listen to your thoughts, like just do things like on your own, and then you can be able to know that when you pull a person towards you, or when you pull a person in your life, you know what is it that you expect from them, and you know that if you pull them, this is what you can acquire, vice versa, they can do the same for you. And also, I feel like this thing of being alone, it also helps you into being a good team player, because I feel like most people, they feel like they usually go in a team setting or in a gathering or where they chill with a lot of people. They go to a place and then they just do what the others do, but they don't get to express themselves. And that is a problem for me, because I've realized that most people, they don't think their own thoughts. I know maybe someone has said this before, but most people don't tend to have their own thoughts. Most people, they just do what others do, and they do what others think it feels right. Yet I feel like for me, it's like a double-edged sword, because yes, it might help you, but at the same time, it doesn't help you to go with the flow in some cases. Yes, you can go with the flow in other cases, but sometimes in most of the cases it doesn't. I've realized this as you grow. As a person, you need to have the thing of being alone and just have fun with yourself. Like, do get the tools that makes you have fun with yourself. If you want to drink wine, drink wine. If you want to drink beer, drink beer. If you want to drink coffee, like you appreciate the little things about you, and you get to do them without having to like seek for validation in other people. So guys, like, just let me know what you think about that, because yes guys, I've seen people like who love to be distracted. You know, they love to be distracted in a sense that I feel like those are this is where the triggers of temptations comes from. You're seeking you seeking to be distracted is where temptation comes, and hence we end up having the results of other people that you find they are engaged in porn, and then they end up sometimes they lack discipline because they're not hang out with themselves so much, so they end up forcing themselves on women. So for me, guys, I feel like we need to like have that conversation of you need to be one with yourself. And as much as you love being around people, the vibe, the aesthetics, everything, but understand that the key to be able to figure out who you are is to just sometimes spend time with yourself. And by doing that, trust me guys, I'll laugh. By doing that, you're doing the right thing for yourself. And I know that sometimes when you do that at the beginning, it doesn't feel right. It's like changing a diet. When you change your diets, the first 2 weeks or the first week, you will be feeling a lot of withdrawals, you know, and those withdrawals would be so much that Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Those withdrawals would be so painful that you would be tempted to go back to binge eating, to like overeating and doing a lot of things. And trust me, this comes from someone who's done a diet and who's like went back. So that's another thing. I know what I'm talking about. So I feel like we need to enhance the power of being alone, so that you know why it's important to look after yourself. So guys, like let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Just give me your thoughts, and then let's chop it up. And while you at that, let me just give you another song, and then we'll come back and chop it up on a real vibe. We need to understand this thing of taking care of ourselves and spending time alone, and the importance of it. The reason I'm saying this, because as I was talking about diets, I also wanted to tackle this issue of the concepts of dieting. What's your take on it? Why is it important to diet? How do you develop the discipline to stay to stay in a diet? Because there are people that I always see who are giving advices on diets and stuff. Others are saying it's expensive. Others are saying it's not expensive. So guys, just let me know what you feel about dieting. And by the way, that song that you just heard was For Your Way Up by The House by Dane. It's also available in a project titled For Your Soul. So yeah, guys, I feel like for me, the things that I've learned with dieting and why I might be able to go back is dieting. We have a lot of misconceptions about how we consume food, so much that the more you dig deeper about the art of eating food, or the science behind food, the more you realize that you don't need to eat a lot of food as a person, especially if you want to be productive. I've realized that like we as people need to be able to train our minds and discipline ourselves so much that that's when you have a diet to stick to it. And also don't, and these things that I'm talking about, they also in chain, they correlate, because you being alone is gonna enable you to find certain things about yourself. Because I learned about dieting when I spent time alone. I learned about discipline when I spent time alone. So me spending time alone most of the time, it taught me about discipline. It taught me about dieting. It taught me about how to stay consistency and how to stay consistent in a diet. So I'm saying that to say this, dieting, guys, is one of the most important things that we need to make it a norm. And guys, what I love about dieting is this. There are some people who usually say they want to be vegan and it works for them. And there are also people who are dieting, but they also they eat meat only. I think it's there's a guy out there I saw on TikTok. I think it's Abu, if I'm not mistaken. He used to be a deadlift weightlifter. So I think it's a deadlift. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. So he used to like take supplements and stuff, and then you realize that after he retired, he realized that he's been stuffing himself up with toxic stuff. So he had to switch up his diet. And those guys, I'm telling you, trust me, they doing it and it has results. Also, there are guys like Bongani. And also, there's also another guy, I forgot his name, is on TikTok, but he's saying now he's on a journey of becoming a stewardler or a fair person. And then he's going to switch back to the diets and then and show us how it is, how easy it is for you to go back to be like a slim person. And most of these people, what I've noticed about them, then one thing that I like, and they usually don't say you need to go to the gym so that you can receive that body of your goals. And also they think there's Pelo, I'm forgetting his name, he also talks about the importance of food. And the core motivation for these things is that the body of your goals is in your kitchen, And I'm saying that to say this, guys, we need to understand the power of the food that we consume. And sometimes I feel like the thing that sets us back, or the thing that make us not being disciplined is being easily distracted. Going back to the power of being alone. So you need to understand that with dieting, nothing's gonna be easy. Imagine having to wake up and drinking coffee without sugar. Because one thing that I learned when I started dieting for the first 2 weeks was sugar is the devil. That's one thing that I learned. And once you learn that sugar is the devil, you will start to rely on the sweetness that comes from the fruits and stuff. Even with the food that is advertised to us that looks good, usually those food are filled with sugar, some of them. But even though you may think maybe I'm wrong, but if you do your research, you will see that sugar is the devil. Because once you let's start with your tea. Maybe you're taking 3 spoons of sugar. Once you start taking one, yes, it won't feel good the first 5 days. But guess what? After 5 days, after 5th day, it starts to feel normal. That's okay. I can start, operate without sugar. Because what happens is sugar becomes a stimulant. And then once a stimulant runs out of your system, you will want to, how can I put this? After you've eaten some sugar, you will want to eat more food, because sugar opens up the thing about you having it opens up that space of you feeling stuff. Whereas if you don't eat sugar, you start to work more, you don't get tired, you get a lot of things done, you become more disciplined. But it all starts with the sugar. That's what I always say with people. There was a guy who has asked me, Lugoti, how did I did my dieting journey? And I told him that I stopped eating sugar and I started eating like stuff with no sugar. Maybe in my oats, I would eat it without sugar, because usually what I was doing for me was I did the intermittent fasting, so I would eat before 7, and then I would eat before 7 at night. Then my breakfast would be at 12. Even now my alarm is set at 12 for my breakfast. That's when I start to eat breakfast. So from 7 to 12, maybe let's say, because I usually wake up at 4. So if I wake up at 4, I would do maybe some exercise, and then do some preparation, maybe record some content and make some music. And then after that, I will use all the remaining energy I have until I get tired. And come to find out, one thing that this will usually happen is that sometimes I would even start eating at 1, because now you get so busy that you don't pay attention to it. So that's what I would usually do. I would wake up in the morning, put my lemon and then my apple cider vinegar, then drink that and then start my day. Then I would have tea without sugar, coffee without sugar. So I'm saying that, guys, because it's a journey that I want to go back to it, but now I want to go back to it with an intention of not coming out again. So I want to live that. I want to normalize that diet life. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. I just want to normalize the diet life, because I feel like it's important for us people to also look out for ourselves. Yes, we know they say health is wealth, and that is very true. You cannot attain any wealth if you are not healthy. You cannot get things done if you are not healthy. So you need to have that ability of you being able to stay healthy. Ngaso sonke isikhathi. You need to be able to stay healthy at all times. You need to stay healthy at all times. So you guys, just let me know your thoughts into this, and how you feel about it, because I feel like it's a very, how can I put this, it's a very sensitive topic to other people, but I feel like we have to tackle it. So yeah, guys, let me just give you some music, and then we'll come back and just value the show and then conclude the show, guys. Sharp. Okay, guys, so that one was a song titled Blessed. It's an instrumental by the house by them. It's also found on a project titled Blessed. You can check it out on all streaming platforms. So yeah, guys. Yes. The one thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that as we are talking about, the reason I played that song "Blessed" is because I wanted us to understand this part of why, as human, we should be grateful for every opportunity that we're given. Because I'm saying that to say, you know, sometimes you can get used to something or get used to having access to someone or something that you how can I say this, you overlook it or you take it for granted, but without you realizing that you're taking it for granted. It's like maybe having a pair of shoes or maybe a pair of an item of a clothing item. So have you noticed that when you get a new clothing item, you tend to, the one that has been keeping you around before you even acquire the new one, you start to like not handle it with care, you know. You start to, the desire for it starts to dwindles a bit. I'm saying that to say this, we should learn to not make that mistake with the people that we love and the people that are in our lives. Because I've realized that the more comfortable a person becomes, the more they start to show themselves. And as a person, you need to have the ability to recall that feeling that you had when you wanted a certain thing that you already have. And I know that it's easy for us to say no, but you are now having access to it. So what's the point? So just pretend as if you don't have access to it. Pretend as if what like this. That's the question I always ask myself. What if one day I might wake up and I might not be able to make music? What if one day I might wake up and I might not be able to record something, have a voice to record something? So it's those things that I'm talking about, that the blessings lies in you appreciating the things that kept you around before you acquired the new ones that you desire. Because one thing that I've noticed, after you've acquired the new ones, those new ones, they also fall on the ones that you don't desire when you want to acquire another thing. So as a person, you need to have the thing of understanding that your blessings lies in you appreciating those things that you have, so that you can be able to appreciate the other things that other people do for you. That's what I'm trying to say. So that for me, like I feel like that's the word of the day, you know. That's the word of the day. Like, appreciate the things that you have, and just because you don't, or just because you have acquired new things, doesn't mean the old ones don't matter. Because without the old ones, you wouldn't even have the ability to have the desire to acquire the new ones. So for me, that's one thing that I've learned. So it means that when whatever it is that you do, make sure that you select isn't the properly, that you know what's okay. If I select this, I will always have an appetite for it. That goes for to with the people that you the people that you invite into your life. Just because a person doesn't meet your desire criteria doesn't mean that, or just because the person you don't have feelings for them, doesn't mean that the person won't have a positive impact in your life. So learn to make decisions with your logic. Don't make decisions with your feelings. That's what I'm trying to say, actually. So guys, that's what I wanted to tackle on today's episode. And I know some of you guys are turning up today, are having fun. Some of you guys, they will be just staying indoors. Maybe you will be having a one glass of wine. Others will be shying. Others will be shy aside. Savannah way, some fruits, cakes. You know the vibes. So you guys, just do whatever it is that makes you happy. And guys, please, while you're doing whatever it is that makes you happy, enjoy yourself, guys. Because guys, I can talk about these things the whole day, but enjoy yourself, guys. Like, in anything that you do, make sure that you enjoy yourself. Yes, the process may be tedious and the process may be long, you know, but just learn to enjoy yourself. If like one thing that I've learned, Mina, is as I matured into being an adult, so would say who you are, you must do this unapologetically. And if you feel like those who are closest to you, they don't understand, this is why you should be able to stay alone. So stay alone, look after your diet, and also like check yourself, your role in the community. Like I've said in the first topic that I covered was how we should behave as a community, and also the power of being alone and tapping into your inner self, introspecting, and also your diet, and realize how blessed you are. So guys, those were the things that I wanted us to I wanted to talk about. And also again, I want to thank those who are tuning in, guys. Just understand, Uguti, you tuning in, it means a lot to me. It really, really means a lot to me. So guys, as always, make sure that you love yourself, make sure that you stay blessed, and make sure that you enjoy yourself, have some good vibes, good conversation, and also, guys, make sure that you put God first in everything that you do. Love yourself. Peace.